Power Breakfast with TT. So this first Friday, the 24th of October 2025, turned out to be a significant day for South Africa as the country was officially removed from the Financial Action Task Force's greylist, a significant milestone in the country's efforts to combat money laundering and terrorist financing. The decision, announced following the FATF's plenary meetings in Paris from the 22nd to the 24th last week, is expected to have a positive impact on South Africa's banking sector, reducing transaction costs and enhancing investor confidence. Let's hear more. I've got on the line Economist and Director at First Source Money, Redge Nkosi. Good morning. Thanks so much for your time. So what in the immediate will be the impact of this, the significance of this decision now by the FATF?
Thanks for having me. Well, I think the immediate one is really sentimental in the sense that confidence as to where by those engaged in international activities who come back thinking that South Africa is a firm place to transact and therefore monies can move in and out safely without fears of it either being abused by those who do these things, and that indeed then South Africa joins the rest of the world among the countries that are safe to transact economically. So yes, that essentially is going to be the most immediate. It's a sentimental issue.
Right. And in terms of the impact or the impact of the time spent on the list, is that quantifiable? How serious, how damaging was it?
Well, it's a little bit difficult. It is also, though, possible to quantify it. But see, illicit financial flows, which is the movement of money that's not authorized, is secretive. Okay, and it's very, very difficult as the fact that it is secretive. You cannot even pin it down. Nonetheless, money does move across. So you would say, therefore, the flows of money for the past so many months that we've been in this list would have caused some damage to the economy, which we can't easily know. Nonetheless, damage. All right. So, but again, for those who wanted to, for example, say invest in the country, thinking that, well, maybe this country is not as safe and therefore maybe let's hold on. That too could be, one of the areas that we should have lost out, isn't it? So yes, there could be some effect, but very difficult to quantify in real terms.
And in terms of how this then will be viewed by investors, because one of the things that is what was said about being on this list, it makes it difficult for anyone to come in as an investor in this country because of the difficulty of accessing even loans and that sort of thing. So in the eyes of an investor, I would imagine this will be a positive.
Oh yeah, certainly. It's certainly very important for them to view South Africa as a safe place, a place where they can easily move funds without intensive scrutiny. Remember, these people have been monitoring, and the cost, one element of it, the cost has been so high of just simply monitoring that the funds are coming from South Africa, hold on a second. Or the funds are going to, here and there, hold on a second. So there's a great deal of cost associated with us being on the grey list. Therefore, the mere lifting of it is, in a way, a pressure valve being opened, all right, for those who want to participate in an economy freely and easily and at a cost lower than previously. So you can appreciate that, therefore, it has an impact for investors and it has an impact for even local citizens with regard to them, transferring funds, because who knows how these funds can be transferred internally before at the end of the day they're shifted out. So to all sides, whether external and internal, this has been a pressure valve that has actually been opened.
Right. How does one take, or how do we as a country take full advantage of this now?
Well, I guess it's about now advertising, as we're doing right now on the radio, telling the rest of the country and indeed the world that here we are a safe place, we're a safe country. You can come in, you can transfer funds to us, it will be here in a split second because our controls are good, our enforcement agencies are quite jacked up, and therefore you're okay, you are safe. So I think for me that could be perhaps one of the areas that we begin to celebrate as a matter of urgency and look out for, because isn't it good just to have to be known as clean?
And just finally, how do we assess government's response here? Because yes, we are now off the list. The question would be, how did we end up on the list in the first place? We shouldn't have been on the list in the first place. And then also, how do we gauge about the period of time that it took us to get off the list, whether that in itself is significant? How do we assess government's response?
Well, it has been pretty fast. In my view, you can take longer than the 2 years to get out of this list. It has been pretty fast. But remember, there are about 6 laws that government had to amend. Okay, to simply comply with this. And as you know, going to Parliament, putting laws there can take a year. Just one piece of bill. All right. To say 6 of them had to be done in such a speedy way says the government really understood the consequence of us being on the grey list, and therefore getting out of it is equally important. So they continue, in my view, going forward to ensure that all these laws are in place, enforcement is okay, and therefore everything else works well going forward.
Redge Nkosi is an economist and director at First Source Money. Thank you very much for talking to us.
My pleasure. Thanks indeed.